And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm here, ready to go. Lots of news today. I'm going to just be touching each piece, just very short snippets of everything, because I got so many things in the hopper today. It's crazy. But the big news is one city in America has finally come to their senses, and that's going to be the lead story. I'll tell you about that right after the intro. Johnny, play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. And stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P. Dog Night on the internet. And welcome back to the P. Dog Night channel on this lovely hump day, Wednesday, the 8th of June 2022. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Hope you're having a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life, you know. I feel like singing Christmas songs and shit. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. And, since I'm running a little late, I'm not going to do a little chit chat. I'm just going to say hi to everybody and then get the hell on my way. But before I do that, we have a pre-show super chat or tip in the tip jar from Gunfox61, our good friend Gunfox61. And Gunfox61, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir, for sponsoring the show. Actually, this is from yesterday. He was watching the replay and dropped a finf. A finf. Is it finf? Under trois, quatre, cinq. That's in cinq in French. Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf. Fünf? How do you say five in German? Anyway, I don't care. 5 spot. In the tip jar is saying, Marty, I hope everyone who voted for the commie bastards, I hope they are happy. Get ready for $10 gasoline in the U.S. Food prices jumping again 35 to 45+%, and rent jumping over 200% or more. Who's to blame? Everyone who voted for Democrats. Well, that's one way to put it, and Gunfox puts it succinctly, and that's what Gunfox61 thinks, and he may not be wrong. I feeling the pinch every day. And this is first $100 gallon, $100 tank of gas. Yes, the other day I showed you that picture. And, it is what it is. So anyway, thank you, Gunfox61, for sponsoring the show. If you watch this replay, or if you're here, I'm not sure if you're here. I know your work schedule is different now, so it makes it a little more difficult to pop into the chat. But I'm glad you still watch the show on the replay. All right, let's say good morning, everybody. First in the chat today is our friend Advocatus Diablo, who gets the bell. And I think some people are happy to see you. Also, good morning, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
And Richo, my friend from down under. What's a subscriber only thing? Well, here's the thing, Richo. I got burned. With some of those, those chats that come up there and they kind of pop into the chat and they have some nasty words and they had links to nasty places. And I think that's why my channel got shut down. So if you want to chat, you can subscribe, which is not a big deal. Just subscribe. You only have to be subscribed for 5 minutes. And that way I get rid of some of those bots. So that's why I'm doing that. So there you go. Also, good morning, Simon Wolfwood. Welcome to the show. Aaron Meredith's in the house. Select a boy.
Yeah, boy.
Also, Rotten Corpse is here. It's also Tyre Alexander. What's up? Also, good morning, Attack Alpaca. Septus Wolf. Shady Grid, welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to have you. Also, good morning to Renee Mayette. What's happening? Also, good morning, Zombie Teddy. one of the original viewers of the Morning Night Live. Also, good morning to Natasha Kayleen. What's up, Natasha? Are you going to go to Hotep Fest or Hotep Con or whatever? I've already got my tickets to Hotep Con. We know Natasha from over in the Hotep's been told you area of the world. Also, good morning to who else is here? Legit Low Talkers here. Good morning. Also, Man Squatch, nice to see you. And did I miss some people? I must have skipped over a bunch of people. Mike Savage, Blarg. And that's that, everybody so far. So 15 in the room, 9 likes. Hit the like button, share the stream. We need more people here. Let me go. Let's go. $30 would usually fill up my tank, but since Brandon is tanking us, $30 got me 6 gallons. I know, it's brutal. It is brutal. I'm telling you. Just unbelievable. Oh, good. Natasha is going to go to Hotep weekend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or 10. Yes. I thank you for filling that out for me. I have to kind of stay up because it's been a long time since I've taken German. I think I stopped taking German after my junior in high school. I took it from 8th grade till my junior year, and I learned some, but I just never got good at it. But actually, right now I got to get brush up on my German a little bit, because in September I'm going to be in my Lady Boomer and I and a friend of ours are taking a river cruise on the Danube, and it's basically goes from Budapest, Hungary to Regensburg, Germany, but it's all along the Austrian border. So in the German-speaking part of Austria, and the biggest thing I'm most excited about that trip is we're gonna go to the Vienna Opera House. It's the big music venue in Vienna. We've got a side tour planned on that, and then we're also gonna spend 3 days in Prague, Czech or whatever. What is the country that Prague's in now? I don't even know. Anyway, Tyler Alexander, thank you for sponsoring the show. Nice to have you here. And Tyler Alexander says, hang on a second. Let me do this real quick. We're going to keep the R&B for the theme of the music day. So Tyler Alexander says, what the hell's going, you know what they did? They changed how you do the volume on this. That's why it's so weird. It's a lot more precise, but it's also, there we go. Tyler Alexander says, I am meticulous with my bills and my records. Just finished my monthly bill paying. Last month, I paid $858 altogether. I'm on track to pay $930. Fuck you, Brandon! So there you go. Thank you, Tyler Alexander, for sponsoring the show. Yeah, it's getting crazy, man. I bought a couple things at the store this morning. I mean, some eggs, some orange juice. I think I bought a couple pork chops. And what else? I bought a lot of eggs, but still, it was like my bill, it was $25 for like one bag. I used to be able to go to the store, and I would pretty much, if I filled a bag, I knew it was going to be around $20. And I could fill 4 bags, it'd be $80. And the other day when I bought those, I showed you a picture of those steaks that I had to take a loan out for. I think the bill that day was like almost $90, and I had like 2 bags, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Anyway, it says how it is. It probs in the Czech Republic. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was called Czech Republic or I know it's not Czechoslovakia anymore. I was almost said I'm old enough to say Prague, Czechoslovakia, but there is no Czechoslovakia anymore. It's Czech Republic. So there you go. P-Dog Knight, you taken to HotepCon? I am going to HotepCon this year. I'm going to go to HotepCon. Plan to have a good time there too. A lot of good guys that are going to be there. A lot of good people are going to be there, including Natasha. I'm looking forward to meeting you, Natasha. That'll be awesome. All right, shall we get into some news today? So the big news, at least in my mind, was something we talked about yesterday. We were talking about these George Soros sponsored, supported, and I don't let's not get into this nonsense about anything anti-Semitism, whatever. George Soros has 75 district attorneys that he's funded their campaigns across the country, and they're these district attorneys that don't want to do their job. And Don Julio, what's up? Okay, well, in one major city in the United States, they decided they've had enough of this asshole. That would be, oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Oh, God, look. Damn it. Where's Ace? There it is. I got to fix this. I always forget that I have to at least show that once. All right. They're getting rid of this asshole. Chesa Boudin, the son of terrorists, raised by terrorists, is named after a terrorist, and somehow became the DA of San Francisco. They voted to recall this asshole. Yes! That's how you do it. San Francisco voters have recalled radical district attorney Chesa Boudin, according to the Associated Press, NBC News, and the San Francisco Chronicle. And yes, with the yes vote running excess of 60% as early results were counted Tuesday night. Boudin, the son of a convicted Weather Underground militant David Gilbert, was among the first of a cohort of left-wing prosecutors elected to pursue criminal justice reform, vowing to stop prosecuting quality-of-life crimes. His recall in the country's most left-wing city sends a warning to left-wing prosecutors nationwide, dozens of whom have been elected in the past few years with the help of millions of dollars in spending by our friend GS. So, first batch results, 61%. Let's see. I wonder if they, boy, I hope that now here's the thing. These were early returns. I'm hoping that held. I'm sure it did. NBC News progressive DA Chesa Boudin has been recalled from office. This is good news for Californians and for anyone who's seeing what's happening in our country. Maybe this could happen in a few other cities, but let's see. According to the Chronicle, Boudin was losing in most of the city's voting precincts, though the no vote opposing a recall was strong in the Haight-Ashbury district neighborhood, famous as the home of the hippie movement and the flower children, thanks to Boudin's policies and those of his predecessor, George Gascon, who now serves as the district attorney of Los Angeles and also faces a recall petition in his own. San Francisco has slid into the mire of crime, drugs, and homelessness. Boudin was a hero to the left who saw him as an important ally, in the words of MSNBC host Chris Hayes, against, quote, mass incarceration and, quote, and broken windows policing. The latter's been hailed for decades by experts for lowering urban crime. So anyway, I know it's not Thursday, but FTG, and don't let the door hit you in the ass, Chesa Boudin. All right, let's, now, like I said earlier, I have so many tabs open that I don't think I'm going to get in depth on anything too much today, although there's certain things I just have this habit of just going and reading the article anyway, because sometimes you want more information. But let's see how we can get through today, because I've got literally I think I'm going to have 40 links in the news tab today. By the way, if you want to get in depth on any of the stories I talk about today, I will put the link to each one of them in a single link in the description down below during the outro of this show. So if you come back or if you hang out that long, all you got to do is click one link, and then that link will take you to a page where all of the stories will be hyperlinked in the description on that page. So if you hang around, or if you have to leave early, remember you can always come back and get links to all these stories. All right, let's keep moving along. Good morning. Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? When you send a message, people will be able to see that you subscribe to this channel. Wait. Okay. Wait, when you send a message. Oh, yeah, it just means that you're a subscriber. I mean, that's fine. I want my subscribers to know that. Well, everyone here is a subscriber anyway, I think. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, because not that many people, my stream doesn't get the YouTube treatment. It doesn't get the I go live and then it just randomly shows up in people's places. I don't have enough subscribers. I'm a little guy. I'd love to be a big guy. By the way, I am going to celebrate the 1,300 subs on Friday. I am trying to remember that, and hopefully we'll have a good guest. But anyway, all right. Interesting. So let's just go through a slew of articles today. What you watch, Sinatra, over HB these days? Oh, what's that? Okay. You guys are talking to each other. I get it. All right. Let's get into some of the articles that I highlighted today. My Twitter feed, unfortunately, I did have some stuff bookmarked. I'm trying to remember what that was. I'm telling you, I have so many articles today. Let me just check my bookmarks real quick because there was a couple things that I wanted to do. Oh, June. There's a couple good threads here. So over at the Washington Post, we were talking about this yesterday. I may never get to any of the news stories because I forget that I have some things here that I want to tell you about. So there's that thing about the Washington Post where Dave Weigel retweeted a joke and they're all up in arms at the Washington Post. Well, that shit's still going on for the 5th, maybe 6th day. So now first, a couple days ago, a bunch of the staff members at the Washington Post decided that they were all going to talk about their love for working at the Washington Post. And so Glenn Greenwald has this thread here. This is just weird and creepy. Why are they all posting identical language about how proud they are to work at the Washington Post? Like a script handed down from a cult leader. So it's hilarious. Hello, Papa Hotep. What's up? And Anna Lynn, I see you there too. So all these people are tweeting about how they liked working at the Washington Post. I know the Washington Post as a remarkably collaborative newsroom filled with journalists and editors who may stumble at times, myself included, but always working towards better. I'm proud to work here. So that's someone named Michael Schur. Then they have this Annie Liskey. Thank you, Sally Busby, for reiterating the Post policy. We do not tolerate colleagues attacking colleagues, either face-to-face or online. The Post is not perfect, but I believe showing respect for others and extending grace will make us better. I'm proud to work here. Also, somebody named Amy Gardner. The Washington Post is a newsroom filled with collegial, collaborative, and respectful journalists who do critically important work every day. I'm immensely proud to work here. And then we got this one, Ashley Barker. The Post is not perfect. No institution is, but I'm proud to work here. I love coming to work almost every single day and knowing my colleagues. So this is all over this crazy biatch who has been just ripping people to shreds. Now there's Glenn Greenwald on this thread. There's several of these. I mean, it goes on and on. So now this Felicia Somnes, she's the one who got all up in arms about Dave Weigel, telling the joke, and she's still bitching. I gotta find it. Oh, did I not bookmark that one too? Oh no, well, that's dumb. Anyway, so she, as of yesterday, she was still on Twitter bitching about one of the guys who defended him. Oh, here it is. Here, let's go into. We will go into. Let's see. Oh shoot! Doggone it! I'm in boomer hell right now. Let's see if I know Christina had this. Where's the one where she says never stop? Oh, this chick tweets way too much. Where's the never stop one? Anyway, this woman just is going on and on and on. And now some of the people at the Washington Post are getting sick of her. And there's people saying, oh, here it is. Duh, it's right there. Please stop. This is it. Now I found it. All right. So So all these people are saying, writing these things about how they love working at the Washington Post, right? Well, here's Felicia still, who says, so I hear the Washington Post is a collegiate workplace. And this is the guy who she was ripping to shreds, right? She was, I'll link this too. Let me link that too so I don't forget. Well, let's put it back over here. We'll put it right after Glenn Greenwald. There we go. So, and she says, then she down here goes, these tweets falsely accusing me of clout chasing, bullying, and cruelty, and directing an eager mob to carry out a barrage of online abuse are still up, even after I repeatedly raised them to management and noted that I've been receiving threats and abuse. Collegial? Okay, Carrot. And then, so here's the people starting to respond to her. This is someone who works the Post, named Lisa Rain, who's just saying, please stop. Because this is the 5th day of this nonsense. This is the 5th day that this lady's bitching. Now she's trying to get the other guy fired, which she tried to get Dave Weigel fired over a retweet of a joke. It was actually kind of funny. I'm sorry. Ladies, I'm sorry. The joke was funny. And then I could hear, like I said, I could hear Kathy Griffith or Ellen DeGeneres or any female comedian. I could see a female comedian telling that joke. All women are bi. You just have to decide if it's sexual or polar. I could see a female comedian tell that joke, and she'd probably get laughs left and right from her friends and stuff. But anyway, so Felicia, to this person who said, please stop, and this is not the only one. She's fighting with everybody at the Washington Post right now. Please stop requesting that tweets from a colleague falsely accusing me of bullying and clout chasing be taken down. Do you have any idea of the torrent of abuse I'm facing right now? Bitch, you're bringing it on yourself. So now we do have a white knight, though. Someone named Holden Sage Foreman. I scrolled through the likes on this tweet, seemingly telling Felicia to stop fighting online abuse, and nearly all the verified accounts who have liked the tweet are men. Oh no! All 4 of the Washington Post journalists who have liked this tweet are men. Oh no! Isn't that interesting to you? Okay. Okay, Night Boy, and not a good kind. Now, this is the same. Now, if you're not sure who this person is, this Felicia Somnes, this is the same reporter that right after the day that it was reported that Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash with his daughter, she tweets out an article about how he was accused of rape and that he was not a good person. Just now, to use those words exactly, I'm paraphrasing her, but she thought that was appropriate. Now, remember, the accusations, however it happened, now the woman seemed to have dropped any charges, and they had a settlement and all that, whatever, and then he bought his wife a $25 million diamond ring, or not 25 million, 25 carat, I don't know, just he bought his wife a big ass diamond ring because, that's probably necessary. But anyway, she harassed them to suspend Dave Weigel for a month without pay over retweeting the joke. And now she's going after other people. So finally, there's people at the Washington Post. One of the editors said they had meetings. They're saying stop. But this is just yesterday that she's still on here just pitching a fit. So anyway, I just find it humorous. I'm not going to go back to my bookmarks. I have too many stories to get to. So let's get into the news a little bit here because I got a whole bunch of articles open. Anyone see the video of where the Australian senator asked the health department to define what a woman was? They all smiled and couldn't answer. They were scared of upsetting the left. Yeah, that is the theme. I watched that movie again last night. What is a Woman? Just because I'm going to have my wife watch it. I'm going to have my daughter watch it. And my wife will be groaning through the whole movie, though I can just hear right now. But anyway, No, I did not see that. All right. Let's just go down the line here because I got tons of stories. So first of all, apparently, speaking of that sort of kind of topic, interesting article in the Daily Caller here. Men keep committing heinous crimes, then identifying as women after being arrested, and the media is playing along. Media outlets routinely refer to males who identify as female after being arrested for serious crimes as women. Men who commit violent and sexual crimes have claimed to be women and, in some cases, been placed in women's jails and prisons without undergoing medical transition. And in federal prisons alone, there are said to be over 900 biological, physiological, whatever you want to term. I always say physiological because now they're saying, well, trans women are biological women. No, they're not. Shut the fuck up. But I'll say physiological then, because you can't argue with me there. They're physiologically male. 900 biological males housed in women's prisons, resulting in a massive and ongoing civil rights violations and other torts against women and inmates daily. That's Harmeet K. Dillon, CEO of National Civil Rights Organization Center for American Liberty, told the Daily Caller News Foundation. Some men have begun identifying as women after being arrested for heinous crimes, but corporate media outlets often refer to them as women, even if they only adopted their female identity after being arrested. This routine misgendering has led to headlines that portray biologically male criminals as women, obscuring an important component of the story, that the crime was in fact committed by a biological man. In many cases, these criminals take advantage of policies that allow males to be housed in women's prisons if they simply identify as women, even without undergoing medical sex change procedures. In federal prisons alone, there are said to be 900 biological males housed in women's prison. We already said that. In America, the punishment for a crime after sentencing should not include sexual assault, violation of faith-based restrictions on mixed gender cohabitation, and a myriad of other human rights and civil rights violations that occur when women are forced to share very close quarters with biological males. That's according to Dillon. Perry Surf, who now goes by Michelle Heck Loki Angelina, according to the New Jersey Department of Corrections, was sentenced to 75 years in prison in 2003 for the murder of a 47-year-old woman. He admitted to kicking her to death, crushing her skull, and drinking her blood in a 2003 letter to the New York Daily News. Quote, since I have a most unusual taste for blood, I drank and licked and lapped up my fill, he reportedly wrote. Surf, who was referred to as a man at the time of his arrest, is currently housed in a women's prison, the Edma Man Correctional Facility in New Jersey, according to the New Jersey Department of Corrections website, which lists Surf as a female. Surf can be found on the website under Michelle Heck Loki something Angelina, but not under Perry Surf. Some states, including New Jersey, allow males to be housed in women's jails and prisons if they identify as female, even if they have not undergone medical sex change procedures. The American Civil Liberties Union pushed New Jersey to allow transgender-identified biological males to be housed in women's prisons, though through a 2019 lawsuit, at least 2 female inmates have been impregnated by a male prisoner in the state since then. Well, one inmate impregnated two individual females. I'm sorry. This is fucked up. Breaking 26-year-old transgender child molester James Hannah Tubbs has been charged with the murder and robbery in Kern County and is in their custody. Tubbs was serving a 2-year sentence at a juvie facility in L.A. after GA George Cascon refused to prosecute an adult. Oh, this moves on into other things, but yeah, this is really, really becoming a problem. Oh, here's one. Richard Fenton is being charged with 21 child sex offenses after trying to solicit explicit pictures and videos from girls he believed are as young as 6. At some point after the arrest, Fenton declared he was a woman named Rachel. So here's The Guardian. Pedophile jailed after trying to groom children on social media. Rachel Fenton of Manchester, who was living as a man when arrested, pleaded guilty to 21 offenses. So they're giving examples of that, somebody needs to get that shit under control, and the media's got to stop doing that shit. if they committed a crime as a male, they need to report it that way. But they're being sent to women's prison. 900. And the American Civil Liberties Union just think that's fine. All right, let's move on. The Department of Justice has slapped Proud Boys leaders with seditious conspiracy charges as Dems prepare for primetime January 6th hearings. So the Dog and Pony show's coming up here. I think, is that tomorrow? I think it is. The one where they've hired a former ABC News producer to try to make it more compelling. You know, they're holy shit. So by the way, the ABC producer that they hired, that's the same ABC producer who punted the Jeffrey Epstein story. Remember they had the reporter had a big story on Jeffrey Epstein and a bunch of his clients, and the ABC News punted the story. This is the same producer that's doing the January 6th thing. So the Department of Justice unveiled conspiracy charges against Proud Boy leaders for their involvement in the January 6, 2021 Capitol protest ahead of the first January 6th committee hearing set to be broadcast live on Thursday. Dog and fucking Pony show. Proud Boys chairman Enrique Tarrio, along with four other of the organization's leaders, face counts of seditious conspiracy and conspiracy to obstruct official proceedings, among other charges, according to court documents made public Monday. The DOJ revealed the charges just days before the House. This is coordinated, right? They're just okay. Let's do a little poll in the chat. Whoops, what did I do there? Let's do a little poll in the chat. I'll put this on here so you can see what I'm reading here. Will the Jan 6 hearings make you forget about gas prices? Not you. Let's make America. Let's change that to America. Will it make America yes or no? There you go. Will it make people forget about gas prices? I don't think so, but that's my personal opinion. Go ahead and vote in the poll. I'll end it whenever I feel like it. Okay. So anyway, so they're going to charge them with the conspiracy to commit seditious something, the most serious charge. So this, because everyone's saying, they call it an insurrection. Wow, that wasn't very good. Let's find a better one. Hang on. Insurrection. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. God, I'm weird. Anyway, so yeah, they're gonna have the Dog and Pony show how convenient. Just before the Dog and Pony show, they announced charges against the Proud Boys. That'll be interesting. Now, from PJ Media, Democrats have maybe accidentally, but they've admitted the true purpose of the January 6th hearings. The Democrats' partisan January 6th committee hearings are going prime time this week, and Fox News is getting flack from the usual left-wing suspects. Well, because Fox is not going to show it on the regular channel. They're going to show it on Fox Business, but not on the main Fox channel. Quote, Fox News won't air the January 6th hearings because they prefer their sedition made fresh on site. Dumbass Hillary Clinton quipped on Twitter. I got to tell you, she's got some balls to talk about anything right now, because the truth is getting out about what's going on with her, what went on with her in with the Russian bullshit. But anyway, Fox won't televise the hearings of the greatest crime in presidential history. Oh my God! Tweeted Rob Reiner. Our democracy is hanging by a thread. What are you talking about? First of all, we did have a peaceful transfer of power, right? On the day that was supposed to happen. Now, was their business in Congress delayed because of some idiots who rioted, and some were, of course, a lot of them were, well, I can't say this too loud. A lot of them were let into the building by the police. But that's beyond the point. The fact is, there's only one reason why any network will air the hearings of these pointless, blatantly partisan hearings. And it has nothing to do with the so-called insurrection. It has to do with helping the Democrats in the upcoming midterm. Oh, really? I couldn't guess that at all. This isn't a guess. They've already admitted to this. Quote, January 6 hearings give Democrats a chance to recast midterm message, end quote, reads the headline at the New York Times about the hearings. Yes, this is a political dog and pony show showing absolutely no shame that government resources are being used for blatantly partisan person. I think they're doing it too soon, though. I got to tell you, no. And is anyone going to forget about the price of gas and how much you spend at the grocery store? I'm not. I'd be like, hey, you assholes are fucked up. Anyway, with their control of Congress hanging in the balance, Democrats plan to use made-for-television moments and carefully choreographed rollout of revelations over a course of 6 hearings to persuade voters that coming midterm elections are the chance to hold Republicans accountable for it, the report in the New York Times explains. The article goes on to quote Democratic lawmakers and operatives, all but admitting the purpose of the hearing is to distract voters from astronomical gas prices and historic inflation. Several Democrat operatives and politicians were quoted in the story admitting that the hearings might provide their political clout, the political clout their party needs for the midterm elections. Battling rampant inflation, the war in Eastern Europe, and rising gas prices and other goods, Democrats seem poised to use the January 6 hearings to make a political point about Republicans. Well, good luck with that, shitheads. All right, let's move on. In the New York Post today, or yesterday, Nancy Pelosi is in the news. Just talking. Oh, it's an editorial about her dog and pony show. Michael Goodwin calls it the dog and baloney show. That's pretty funny. Anyway, I'll just leave that aside. I don't need to read that one. You get the idea. In the Federalist. Now, here's something though that I haven't really mentioned lately. By the way, right over there. See that over there? Do you see that? That it says pdognight.live over there? Right over there. Over there. If you want to sponsor the show, you can go to pdognight.live, watch the show, participate in the chat, and you can drop a couple bucks in the tip jar here and there, or you can use YouTube Super Chats, or you can sponsor the show a couple other ways. That is in the description down below. Also, please hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Let me check real quick. I gotta check. How are we doing here? Do we have any people here? We got almost 30 people, 20 likes. There's a couple you haven't done it so far. So please do that. And then share the stream. If you haven't shared the stream yet, share the stream. Wait a minute. Ty Alexander, I'm sorry. I feel so bad. Oh, that's because I didn't reset from yesterday. Well, Ty, you're not technically the YouTube Superstar Donor of the Day, but you're close. So anyway. All right. But it says that, so I'm going to say you are. All right. Let's go back to what we're doing. Where was I? What I haven't mentioned about this January 6th committee thing is they're talking too about getting rid of the Electoral College. Now, let me just explain something to these morons. Because I don't even know why this is coming up in this committee. They're talking about getting rid of the Electoral College on this committee as if they have any power to do that. You know, you realize that in order to do that, you would have to amend the Constitution. But anyway, Liz Cheney's precious January 6th committee wants to screw over her constituents by nuking the Electoral College. They don't... Liz Cheney's not in great favor among Republicans, if you haven't noticed, and it's going to be interesting to see if she makes it through Wyoming's primaries. But anyway, Members of the House Select Committee on January 6th, vice-chaired by Wyoming Representative Liz Cheney, are preparing to launch a major assault on the Electoral College as part of the probe's end proposals. According to Axios, on Monday, members of the House panel are split on ideas for electoral reform, which now appears to dominate the committee's talk of legislation that will emerge from the politicized probe designed to persecute political dissidents. Talking felonies, how you doing? CEO tapping in. Well, welcome to the show. How you doing? Axios reported that the panel's far-left members, including Jamie Raskin, the Chia Pet model, and Adam Schiff, pencil neck from California, have endorsed exploiting the committee to pursue their long-desired destruction of the Electoral College. In contrast, Cheney, who represents the least populated state in the nation with the most to lose, thinks the committee will burn its credibility if it pushes for radical changes like abolishing the Electoral College, according to a source with direct knowledge. She has also joked that her colleagues on the committee that there is no way the single at-large representative from a tiny state of Wyoming would support abolishing the Electoral College. Axios added, citing another source with direct knowledge. Okay, they're citing a lot of sources with knowledge of the situation. Well, how about just telling who the source is? Oh, wait, we can't do that because we have to write stories that are dubious anyway. But anyway, Cheney's Wyoming would be kind of screwed if you got rid of the Electoral College because, there's a reason for the Electoral College. It's because we're not supposed to have an all-powerful federal government. We're not supposed to have an all-powerful president. And the states were originally going to vote for the president, but then they said, well, we have a bigger population here. Maybe we should have a little more say. So they created this electoral college system so that each state's supposed to be a separate democracy, right? And then there's a coalition of the democracies called the United States of America, and that's the federal government supposed to be just kind of in case we go to war, then we'll have a common defense, but we don't need, each state can have their own little government of their own. That's an actual democracy, and then we'd have, kind of a representative government over there in the federal. Well, they want to make it a democracy, which, a democracy is when two wolves and a sheep are trying to vote on what's for dinner. So anyway, some of these states, need to keep their autonomy through, one, having senators be able to slow things down. That's the other thing. Just because something is popular, it doesn't mean it's a good idea. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, let's go back to this. Ken Lee, what's happening? All right, so anyway, the committee's talking about nuking the Electoral College. Let's move on. Next, what's from the Daily Wire? Ted Cruz now has delivered a dagger to the left over their efforts to politicize acts of violence. Again, this is in relation to the January 6th committee. Senator Ted Cruz slammed Democrats for their apparent support for political violence during the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing Tuesday afternoon that examined the growing domestic terrorism threat in the United States. Is there a video? I'd rather just hear him instead of try to hear. Let's see what he said. It's only...
there ought to be at least three propositions on which all of us can agree. Number one, violent crime is always unacceptable and should be punished severely. Number
Jason
two,
Bowden.
hate is wrong.
Jason Bowden. Get rid of the Jason Boodens of the world. Oh, they're already doing that in California.
And number three, the machinery of the federal government should not be used as a tool to target and persecute your political opponent.
Mm-hmm. January 6th.
All three of those propositions should be ideas that bring us together regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately,
I think how I always called what's his name from New York, Chuck Schumer. I always call Chuck Schumer the smarmy prick. And if there's a smarmy prick on the right, it's kind of Ted Cruz. But sometimes Ted Cruz has that mighty Casey bat and points to the outfield and just that thing's like a 448-yard home run. And every once in a while he throws one of those out there. So I can tolerate Ted Cruz. You know what I mean? I can tolerate Ted Cruz. Oh, hit the play. There we go.
we see over and over again efforts to politicize acts of violence. When it comes to white supremacy when it comes to vicious hate groups like the Klan or the Nazi Party. In my view, they are unequivocally hateful, bigoted, racist morons.
Ding.
Who should be denounced and despised.
But do they have free speech rights?
I do think my colleagues on the Democratic side
that's
of the
tough one.
aisle try very hard to erase the history of the Klan, that it was formed by elected Democrats, that its leadership was almost entirely elected Democrats, that the authors of the Jim Crow laws were without exception elected Democrats. And I also think today's congressional Democrats try to use the charge of white supremacy, which is undoubtedly evil, bigoted, and wrong, and weaponized by their own party. They try to use that as a proxy for attacking a political party they disagree with.
Ding.
And they do so by diminishing anti-Jewish violence, anti-Asian violence, violence directed at white people, violence directed at police. My view is simple. Violence is always wrong. Whatever your ideology, left wing, right wing, no wings. If you are seeking to hurt people, it is wrong.
Okay, if you have no wings, it's kind of hard to hurt people because you can't hit them. Never mind.
Is violence from white supremacist extremist organizations a problem? Absolutely. As is violence from other hate groups. The Brooklyn subway shooter was a known black supremacist who called for racial violence.
Oh, who's that? Wait, who? Who's he talking about?
The Waukesha attacker.
I've never heard of the Brooklyn
who
shooter.
Murdered 6 people driving an SUV into a Christmas parade, was a viciously left-wing black nationalist bigot.
What? Waukesha? Where is Waukesha? I've never heard of Waukesha.
Another black nationalist gunned down 5 police officers in Dallas. I was there with President Obama at the funeral for those police officers. He did so on explicitly racial grounds. In 2019, 2 anti-Semitic domestic terrorists gunned down 4 people in a kosher grocery store. San Francisco in the past year has seen a 567% increase in anti-Asian violence. Anti-Jewish hate crimes in New York City are up 148% in the first quarter of 2022 compared to the first quarter of 2021.
It's where you wash your car. Stop hating on his Texas accent.
And then, of course, we have the violence of the Antifa riots and the Black Lives Matter riots that racked this country.
$2 billion worth.
As stores were looted, police cars were firebombed, people were assaulted, people were murdered.
And they don't know about.
My
Oh,
colleagues
no,
on
no.
the Democratic side of the aisle sought to
There'll be no committee on that.
excuse, sought to apologize for, even went so far as raised money to bail out of jail the violent rioters committing these acts of violence.
What's her name? What's that? The vice president lady?
When it comes to violence,
Kamala Harris?
the Department of Justice should not treat it as an excuse simply to target the political opponents of whatever administration is in power, Republican or Democrat.
Ding.
But instead, violent crime should be prosecuted vigorously across the board
AD, come
to
on
keep
now.
people safe.
Okay, so anyway, good on Ted Cruz. Because, it's the Dog and Pony show coming up is absolutely just a Dog and Pony show. All right, let's move on. As we've been keeping track of the economy, let's go into some economic news. As we talked about this, we just talked about this one yesterday. Okay, just yesterday we talked about this, and today, well, it's happened again. Gas prices soar to the 10th consecutive record day high. Now $4.91. That's like up. What is that? Wasn't it $4.84 yesterday? $4.85. Another 6 cents. Gas prices on Tuesday soared to a 10th consecutive record day of $4.91 a gallon, fueled by President Joe Biden's war on American energy that includes driving up public-private financing costs of oil drilling, halting drilling on public lands, and canceling Keystone Pipeline. Now, this is Breitbart, who now they might get some pushback from certain outlets, but I believe they are fairly accurate here. Where they put the blame. Gas prices increased 5 cents overnight, nearly 30 cents in 1 week. AAA data reveals drivers are paying nearly $2 more from just a year ago. Prices have more than doubled since Donald Trump left office. The pain at the pump is expected to increase to over $6 a gallon before Labor Day, according to JP Morgan commodities analyst. Gas prices have reportedly already reached $10 per gallon in Northern California town of Mendocino. Now, we saw it yesterday. It was $9 something. So did it go over 10? I had chuckled because one of my buddies who was on a text message change with me showed me that he lives in California, and he put 15 gallons of gas in his tank, and he hit $100. And I laughed because I put 23 gallons in to hit $100. So that's a big difference. It's a lot of gas for not a lot of gas for a lot of money. In fact, it was funny because remember this, when Trump said this.
We have more oil than anybody, okay? And it's an incredible thing that it's happened over the last few years, a lot of great things, and you're paying, what, $2 a gallon for your gasoline? That's okay. You know what that's like? That's like a tax cut. That's bigger than a tax cut. If Biden got in, you'd be paying $7, $8, $9. Didn't they say, get rid of your car?
Last month, we announced a $5 billion investment to build out a nationwide electric vehicle charging network so that people from rural to suburban to urban communities can all benefit from the gas savings of driving an EV.
So, quite the prognosticator, the old guy with the funny hair is. Moving on, more news. Still there. Biden administration admits historically high energy prices aren't going away anytime soon. The Biden administration acknowledged Tuesday that energy prices, including gasoline and electricity prices, are expected to remain historically high through 2023. Prices for oil, natural gas, and coal are expected to stay high as domestic energy supplies are projected not to keep up with increased post-pandemic demand, wait a minute. See what they did there? It's not going to be able to keep up with demand. Maybe that's because we've pinched off some of our ability to continue supply. But anyway, projected not to keep up with the increased post-pandemic demand, according to a report from the Energy Information Administration, Department of Energy sub-agency. The agency blamed the projected high prices on Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February and conditions related to the ongoing stupid 19 pandemic recovery. So here's what they said. We continue to see historically high energy prices as a result of the economic recovery and the repercussions of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. EIA Administrator Joe DeCarlos said in a statement, although we expect the current upward pressure on energy prices to lessen, high energy prices will likely remain prevalent in the United States this year and next. Great! Great! Oh my God. Anyway, and in the midst of this, a massive oil refinery is on track to shut down amid fuel supply shortages and record prices. A key Texas petroleum refinery that produces more than 200,000 barrels of fuel per day is facing a premature shutdown that could increase pressure on domestic fuel prices. You think? The Houston, Texas facility, which is operated by Lyden Lyondell Basel Industries spans 700 acres and was built in 1918. It is scheduled to permanently close by the end of 2023, but could shut down earlier if a major equipment failure spreads to major units. Two people familiar with the issues told Reuters. The refinery processes 268,000 barrels per day of oil and produces 92,600 BPB, whatever that is, of diesel fuel, 89,000 BPB, barrels per day of gasoline, and 44,500 barrels per day of jet fuel. The Houston refinery is currently operating as planned. Lyondell Basel something previously announced that it will cease operations of the Houston refinery no later than December 31st, 2023. Now, have they done anything to replace that? Oh boy. We haven't built, let's see. Meanwhile, 6 refineries with the capacity of 801,000 barrel per day of oil have shuttered over the last 2 years amid the pandemic, federal data showed. In addition, 5 refineries with the capacity of 408,000 barrels per day of oil are idle, the largest number of idle refineries since 2012. So there's your problem right there. Because I know that the actual production of the oil itself hasn't necessarily dropped, but that's 7 refineries. 7 refineries offline during the pandemic. And they're not, why are they not ramping them up? Because it's the Biden administration. They don't want to lower the price of fuel. They truly don't. The COVID pandemic really drove down gasoline and diesel demand, which accelerated some things that were already happening. Jeff Moody, the vice president of government relations at the American Fuel and Petrochemical Manufacturers, previously told the Daily Caller there were already some contraction happening in the industry as a result of projected declines in U.S. gasoline demand into the future, and companies declining that assets were better used as other projects are shut down completely. Some of it's been very policy-driven. And companies decided it wasn't worth it to keep operating with those assets. You know what? You think it's worth it now? There it is. Oh, I hate these people. And then, meanwhile, Senator Debbie Stabenow, is that her name? Stabenow? That's a really interesting. Kyle, what's happening? I haven't seen you here for a long time. Hello, Kyle. What's up? Anyway, in a staggeringly tone-deaf moment while Americans are struggling with inflation, Michigan Democratic Senator Debbie Stabenow, who has been making a living by serving in one political job after another for almost 50 years, boasted while driving her electric vehicle from her home state to Washington, D.C. She didn't have to pay the high price of gas. She attacked the oil and gas companies in mid-May, accusing them of making prices at the pump go up and up so they can continue to make record high profits. Quote, oil and gas companies are making prices at the pump go up and up so they can continue to make record high profits. I think that's what I just said. These companies are exploiting hard-working Michiganders. No, they're not. You got 7 refineries. Well, 6 down now, and 7 refineries not producing fuel. You think that's... Oh, boy. I wonder if they're going to let them reopen because Democrats hate refineries. On Thursday, she bragged, I don't have to say on the issue of gas prices. After waiting for a long time to have enough chips in this country to finally get my electric vehicle, I got it and drove from Michigan to here last weekend and went by every single gas station. It didn't matter how high gas prices. Well, you're on the friggin' government dole for your entire life, and you can probably, I'm sure you got some stock tips and got some well-invested shit going on, and you probably bought your $100,000 Tesla or whatever the hell it is you drive. Go to hell, bitch. Oh, man. So the average transaction price for an electric vehicle is $56,437, according to Kelley Blue Book. Roughly $10,000 higher than the overall industry average of $46,328 that includes gas and EVs. In terms of pricing, an EV is equivalent to an entry-level luxury car. Average price for regular gasoline is, okay, we already got that. Anyway, F that biatch. Let's see. The White House tells him, this is, and then the White House is telling us, well, they have it better than Europeans on gas prices. Well, yeah, we always have. Is this her? Here she is. Karine Jean-Pierre. I'm not going to listen to 3 minutes of her. Let's see. Maybe it'll go right to where she starts saying this. Why? Oh.
Done up to this point on the policy side of things. I also understand it's a global marketplace. Given the fact that
Oh, that's really soft.
Are there new initiatives, new policy proposals that your team is working through right now that could possibly have an effect and that you could roll out in the weeks ahead if prices continue where they've been?
So everything's on the table, as you heard us say the last couple of weeks. But I do want to say, if you look at what happened when Putin started amassing troops on the border
It's
with
gone
Russia,
up
the price of gas has increased by $1.51.
Oh, no, $1.
And I also
It
wanna
was
add,
over
this is
4
really
when
important
that
so
started.
people understand and flag that similar issues
no, it
are
was over
happening around
3
the world.
anyway.
In the EU,
So
gas
that's right.
is $8.15 per gallon and has increased by $1.74.
Okay, let's just
In Germany, gas is
stop your pie hole. Okay? I don't care what the price is in Europe. Okay? It's bad in Europe too. Obviously, very bad in Europe. If you live in Europe, you're sucking it up too. If you live anywhere in the world, you're sucking it up because our policies kind of have effect on the entire world. And you know what? Problem isn't because of what's happened in Europe. It's because 6 refineries have gone offline in the last 2 years. And a 7th one is going to go off this year. If those refineries were running at capacity, would we have the same problem? Because it's not even necessarily a supply issue. It's not about Russia. Okay? We can produce our own fuel here if somebody in that pudding brain head of his would have just let us and get the refineries back up. Moving on. Let's see. Recession will be hard to avoid. The World Bank issues an entire economic warning, hints at 70s era stagflation. Oh, Lord. Yay! The World Bank cut its global growth forecast Tuesday and warned that the world economy could enter a period of feeble growth and elevated inflation. Global growth is now projected to decline from its 2021 rate of 5.7% to a lowly 2.9% in 2022, a downward revision from the 4.1% growth it forecasted 5 months ago, according to the World Bank's Global Financial Prospects. In other words, the World Bank is telling us, let me put it in simple terms. We're fucked. I got to move on because I got to get through a lot more of these articles. Janet Yellen, we told you about this story a while back. Janet Yellen admits she could have used a better term than transitory to describe unacceptable inflation. She said this several days ago. Oh, she said it again Tuesday. Oh, she was testifying before Congress. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told Congress on Tuesday that the United States is facing unacceptable levels of inflation. Oh, thank you for noticing. Thank you for noticing. Inflation in the United States neared a 4-decade high of 8.3% as of April, with the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics slated to release results for May later this week. During testimony before the Senate, however, Yellen admitted that she and Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell could have used a better term than transitory to describe higher prices. Well, yes, because that would be transphobic by calling it transitory, right? There's no question that we have huge inflation pressures, that inflation is really our top economic problem at this point, and that it's critical that we address it, she remarked per The Guardian. I do expect inflation to remain high, although I very much hope that it would be coming down now. All right. Well, so do we! God damn. Okay, that's just if you want to read the rest of the economic news in that story, these will all be in the tab in the link below. Now let's go to a little bit of gun stuff here. New York has passed a gun ban weeks after a federal court declares a similar law unconstitutional. The New York Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul on Monday signed a bill that bans individuals under 21 from purchasing semi-automatic rifles, even though a U.S. Circuit Court just weeks before it declared a similar law in California to be unconstitutional. The bill, one of 10 sweeping gun control measures that Hochul signed in the wake of the mass shootings in Buffalo, New York, and Uvalde, Texas, raises the minimum age to buy a semi-automatic rifle, including the popular Ruger Mini 14 and SKS, from 18 to 21. New York, which as of 2020 is the 5th lowest gun homicide rate in the nation, already bans people under 21 from owning handguns. The mass shootings have galvanized blue state politicians to restrict gun rights. In addition to Hochul's move, Democratic legislators in California and New Jersey are considering additional gun restrictions, and they're also talking about this shit in Congress. I have my opinions. I'm skeptical anyway, because most of the gun crime in New York has nothing to do with legal gun owners. So you're restricting legal gun owners. In the New York Post, YouTube is now censoring journalism for the Biden administration. What do you mean that's there? Now that's the New York Post just discovering this. For as ugly as the worst acts of those who descended on Washington, D.C. on January 6, 2021 were, none could justify the chilling assault on liberty and justice that has followed in their wake. The ruling class has used January 6 to wage a jihad against its political opposition, including an assault on our most basic rights, such as free speech. Big tech has reinforced the narrative that views antithetical to the regime orthodoxy are dangerous and must be policed accordingly. In the latest example, YouTube deleted a January 6, 2021 interview conducted by a Post reporter with a Capitol breach participant. In the video, Aaron Mostovsky, son of a Brooklyn Supreme Court judge, explains why he was compelled to come to the Capitol, namely to express his opinion as a free American, that this election was well, I can't say it, to Google on YouTube. The footage contains dangerous misinformation, speech that equates with harm, meriting removal. In its removal notice, it asserts that it's our job to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all, arguing that content that advances false claims that widespread fraud changed the outcome of the 2020 presidential. You know, I had a video before they made that rule. I had a video about roughly a month before they made that rule about the 2020 election, where I don't even think I was, I have to go back and watch it now, because I don't even think I was, I don't even think that I was saying that it was stolen. I just said I was skeptical of some certain things, and there were certain things that happened and whatever. And they took that video down after they suspended me. Like, remember when they were just they were fine-tooth combing my entire channel and finding every little copyright and this and that violation, and that luckily I didn't get another strike, but they did take it down a video that was before that rule, and they gave me that same explanation, saying that that they have to, what was the words they use? This, it's the exact same wording. Here it is. It is our job to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all, and content that advances false claims that widespread fraud changed the outcome of 2020 elections is not allowed. Well, so you're not allowed to have an opinion. Although I'm pretty sure that every mention of Stacey Abrams saying that she's the governor of Georgia is probably still up on YouTube. Just saying. I'm just saying. All right, let's move on. Because like I said, I'm just gotta get through a lot of these. Oh, also in New York, apparently there is a new law requiring social media companies to report, quote, hateful content. Hateful content, right? New York will now require social media companies to report hateful content. Governor Kathy Hochul announced on Monday, no 18-year-old can walk in on. Now, this says nothing. I don't know. Hochul on Monday signed his gun control bills into law, which include actions such as tightening the red flag laws and raising the age to purchase a semi-automatic rifle to 21. But during the press conference, she also announced that the Empire State will require social media companies to report on hateful content. Oh, my. How long is this clip? Is this long?
And in the state of New York,
here it is.
We're now requiring social media networks to monitor and report hateful conduct on their platforms.
Now, I have questions. When you say monitor and report hateful conduct, what specifically does that mean? Because I know that there are people out there that definitely have, I would say, hateful conduct. Let's say, does that include just people being mean to each other? I don't know what that means. So in a rather controversial move, given the varying interpretations of what constitutes hate speech in a world where far-left radicals consider misgendering someone as an intrinsically hateful act, the announcement comes weeks after the Democratic governor announced an executive order establishing a police unit dedicated to combating hate speech. Is this Scotland? A police unit dedicated to combating hate speech. The unit will be responsible for developing investigative leads based on social media analyses focused on radical extremist activities, motivated threats by identified online location activities that facilitate radicalization and promote violent extremism. The executive order, which came in the wake of the tragic shooting in Buffalo, reads, in part, here's her statement. The horrific and despicable act of terror committed by a white supremacist this past weekend in Buffalo showed that we as a country are facing an intersection of two crises. The mainstreaming of hate speech. The mainstreaming of hate speech where? Including white nationalism, racism, and white supremacy. The mainstreaming of it? Is there someone out there just on the mainstream out there spouting a bunch of hate speech? I don't know. We will continue to confront this epidemic head on, stamp out extremists who threaten our communities, and strengthen the toughest gun laws in the country. Yeah, you already have the toughest gun laws in the country, and it still happened, right? Oh, my God. Anyway, all right. This is another Breitbart article, which you know what it means. DeSantis campaign fights back against Soros media manipulation targeting Hispanic voters. Oh, so apparently, okay, so Soros funded a bunch of media targeting Hispanic Americans in various markets, including Miami, by submitting ad buys alerting the community of the radical left's true moves. Oh, that's the DeSantis campaign is because so the campaign move follows Soros-linked purchase of Hispanic radio stations forming the Latino Media Network, which is meant to disinform the community, according to the DeSantis campaign. According to Axios, the network is targeting 10 markets in areas such as Los Angeles, New York, Houston, Chicago, Dallas, San Antonio, McAllen, Fresno, and McAllen, Texas, Las Vegas, and Miami. Lakestar Finance, an investment group leading the charge, is directly affiliated with the Soros Fund Management. Further board members of the Latino Media Network will include individuals affiliated with other radical left organizations, individuals, and causes. Morales Rocketo, for example, has worked at various nonprofits and is an alumna of Hillary for America. Oh, yay! And the AFL-CIO, Obama for America, and the Democratic National Committee, according to Axios. In response, the DeSantis campaign submitted PSA Alerta warning to run on two Miami radio stations, WAQI and WQABA, warning of the Soros-linked efforts to manipulate the community. And here's the message. Soros teamed up with the Biden supporters to support this station from Televisa Univision, according to the English version of the ad, which warns that they are coming with their ideological agenda. Further, warns that Soros and his minions know what this community represents in the fight against socialism in America. So he's giving them a little warning of socialism that this jackhole is trying to push in the United States of America. All right. I'm going to have to just fly through the rest of these now. Congress wants to know why Meta, that'd be Facebook, is censoring Iranian dissidents, social media giant accused of aiding the hardline regime. Yeah, You know how Facebook and Zuckerberg, they kind of make deals with the devils in various countries and mostly with the devil's governments? Well, they're starting to suppress some of the dissidents in various countries. So in Iran, they're censoring some Iranian dissidents who are trying to, just whatever they do on Facebook, and Facebook is suppressing them. So some congressional committees are starting to question Zuckerberg why he's doing that, mainly because other countries don't have free speech, and they'll not let you have Facebook in their country unless you let them censor shit, and that's how it kind of works. So good. I'm glad the lawmakers are asking the questions. Also, apparently the oh, you gotta love that face, Brian Stelter. Apparently, some of the, how do I describe them, assholes at CNN could be losing their jobs with the new management. CNN President Chris Licht is allegedly evaluating whether liberal staffers and hosts such as Jim Acosta and Brian Stelter are too partisan for the future of the network, according to an Axios report on Tuesday. Licht reportedly wants to give the network liberal-leaning talent an opportunity to adjust to a more bipartisan tone in their reportage. Good luck! Jim Acosta might as well just quit now. Anyway, so they're you can read the rest, but that's good news, I guess, isn't it? Is that good news? Oh yeah, there's a video of a HR professional ranting against the Canadian truckers and threatening their jobs. And this is someone named Luke said, and these people think they're on the right side of history. This is only about a minute long. Let's watch this one. You guys see
Some rights and freedom that would tell you that. But since you seem to forget that, and you're all loud and proud with your big thoughts and your big ideas, and you want to whatever fucking set up hot tubs in Ottawa. I'm a recruiter. It's a small industry. Smaller than you'd think. Same with HR. So, if you're looking for a job, or maybe trying to keep a job.
Is it just me?
Maybe, just maybe, think about what you're putting on social media. Again, freedom fighters. I know you're not really big with stats and...
Is it just me? Or did I catch and release her one time when I was fishing in Canada? Oh my God. I'm going straight to hell. Anyway.
Facts aren't your thing, But what I can tell you, what is a fact, is that recruiters...
She looks like a bass.
And recruiters, like the majority of Canada, don't agree with you. Do you know what that means? Do you have any guesses? Any guesses what that means? What that means is that if you need a job, you might not get one. If you want to keep a job, you might not get to do that.
She doesn't realize the camera on her phone
is... what else HR is good at?
Up here.
Documentation.
The camera's up here, lady, not down here. The
You want to be an asshole.
That's the middle of your phone. Your camera's up here, lady.
We give you a couple tries. Then what do? We terminate you. With cause. If we're so lucky. If not, we give you the minimum allowed by law. Either way, best of luck to you. Recruiters are watching. HR is watching. Everywhere. And we hate you. We hate you so much.
I wonder if she still has a job.
We can't do anything. But we can. We have the power. Always. Remember that. Doesn't matter if there's a fucking man at the top of your HR department. It's run by women. And it's run by angry women just like me.
Well, I'm going to
so
guess.
So glad I got that off.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead.
And you me up inside.
She's crazy. But anyway, now
honestly,
let's see. Maybe this article has a follow-up. Shut up, lady. Shut up, woman. I'm sorry, ladies. I just thought that was funny. And that's just not right. Hello, a gayest person on YouTube is here. How you doing? Yes, her eyes are far apart like Brittany Vendi's. Yeah, she's strange. Now, I'm curious if down here, I want to see if there's oh, good God. HRPA is aware of this video post by one of its regulated members and does not condone or endorse in any way the statements made about HR practices therein. Further, HRPA is reviewing this matter to determine if there has been a breach of its rules of professional conduct. Jeez, I wonder if I can't imagine that didn't break any rules of professional conduct. So she did get fired. Oh, good. She deserves it. Crazy bitch. Anyway, all right. Let me just give you headlines. Republicans push back on Biden's use of the Emergency Defense Production Act to advance the green energy agenda. So yeah, remember we talked about that yesterday. Can't imagine not pushing back on that. That's not what the Defense Production Act is for. F. Joe Biden. Biden's latest, and this is also his talking about using this. It says in the Federalist, Biden's latest abuse of power will make energy more expensive. Well, it certainly will, because they're not, instead of putting some refineries and electrical grid, putting money into that, they're putting money into the black hole known as solar panels. I've been meaning to get to this Georgetown story. I'll try to get to this tomorrow. But anyway, there's two stories here about the Georgetown professor, Elliot Shapiro, and how Georgetown used his apology against him, and how he's now he has resigned, unfortunately, because the harassment he's been getting from the university and the students there. Thank you, Selecta Boy, for sponsoring the show, who says, someone tell that woman to bring Colgate into her life. Oh, that's cold, dude. That is cold. That's so cold. Thank you very much for sponsoring the show. All right. Also, let's see. Pro-life group says abortion activists firebombed a New York location. I wonder if the Justice Department is going to be looking into this. I can't imagine. Anyway, pro-life group pregnancy center that was attacked outside of Buffalo, New York, early Tuesday morning, adding to a growing number of similar attacks following a leak of a Supreme Court opinion regarding the potential overturn of Roe versus Wade. The attack occurred at Compass Care, where vandals broke windows and set the fire to the structure's medical office, adding graffiti with the words "Jane was here," a phrase used by the group called Jane's Revenge that has claimed responsibility for similar attacks nationwide. Which is funny, because Jane Roe died anti-abortion activist. So anyway, why handwritten FBI and Department of Justice notes the special counsel just released are huge. Maybe we'll talk about this tomorrow. But anyway, the recently handwritten notes reveal FBI either lied or UK intelligence fed information to the U.S. agents investigating Donald Trump and his associates, which is not a good thing. Great article in the Federalist. You can check that out. What's going on here? Come on. What the hell happened there? In the American Thinker, how do you overlook D-Day? So remember when I started my show on Monday, saluting D-Day by replaying Ronald Reagan's D-Day speech, right? Well, the White House of the United States of America, because this is the United States of America, finally issued a D-Day message, but it was a bit late. He has like 70 people who handle his social media, and none of them thought to post something about one of the most important days in the history of our country until 8:45 p.m. on Monday. Now, how did that happen? Did someone forget to mark the calendar? Sort of like we write down a family's birthday. I understand that it happened 78 years ago, but there are still veterans around or family members who remember this day, who dropped the ball. Didn't President Biden know that it was D-Day? He was part of a generation who grew up seeing World War II veterans in their neighborhood. Or maybe Biden served. No, he didn't. Or maybe a Biden served. Didn't President Biden ask his chief of staff about the D-Day message that he'd make that day? They didn't. Yeah, his D-Day message on Twitter, which finally came out, was at 8:45 p.m. on D-Day. Didn't I start my show with that? Okay, let's finish up here. I think we talked a little bit yesterday about this. Fed seized data from a retired four-star general who now works at a leftist think tank. They've reportedly seized the electronic data from a retired four-star general. They did that same thing in the first headline. because he allegedly made false statements to authorities and withheld documents that implicated himself in an illegal Qatari foreign lobbying scheme. New federal court findings obtained Tuesday outlined the potential criminal case against former Marine General John Allen, who led U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan before being tapped in 2017 to lead the influential Brookings Institution, according to the Associated Press. It's part of an expanding investigation that has ensnarled Richard G. Olson, a former ambassador to the United Arab Emirates and Pakistan, who pleaded guilty to federal charges last week, and Imad Zubri, a prolific political donor, now serving 12 years in prison on federal corruption charges. So you can check that out. In the Washington Free Beacon, Democrats have been going all out on attempting to defeat a black Republican who's running for governor in Illinois, multi-billionaire Democratic Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and his allies are spending tens of millions of dollars to stop a black Republican veteran from challenging the incumbent in November. Now this is fascinating. In the last 5 weeks alone, Pritzker and Democratic Governors Association dropped more than $12 million on TV ads meant to sink Republican Richard Irvin, an Army veteran who became Aurora, Illinois' first black mayor in 2017, and to elevate his Republican primary opponent, state lawmaker Darren Bailey. So they do not want to run against. They don't want to run against. What's his name? Richard Irvin, the Aurora mayor, the black guy. So they're putting money into the primary. They're running ads in the Republican primary against him because they'd rather run against the other guy. They're it's amazing. Those ads attack Irvin's record as a defense attorney and call Bailey too conservative for Illinois, an attack intended to boost him in the June GOP primary. So anyway, so Democrats are spending a lot of money to stop this black man. See, Democrats are still racist. It's amazing. Okay. Sorry, my Democrat watchers. Obama campaign manager, dumb shit AOC is going to cost Democrats the House. Jim Messina called out Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on Tuesday, criticizing her for backing progressives over incumbents in the Democratic primaries and arguing that dumb shit like that could ultimately cost the party. Messina was the 2012 campaign manager for former President Barack Obama, who was responding to the news that Ocasio-Cortez was endorsing Alessandra Biaggi in her race to unseat Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee Chair, Senator Sean Patrick Maloney. Anyway, so this is some blue on blue crime. I think it's hilarious. You can read the rest of that yourself. It's not that big a deal. Let's see. Georgia Democrats freak out. Oh, Republicans have been taking a page from the Democratic playbook. So if the Democrats have a motto, it probably ends with, "For thee, but not for me." Their recent behavior in Georgia explains why that phrase should hang around Democrats' necks like an albatross. Like so many thorns in our sides here in Georgia, it all starts with Stacey Abrams. No doubt you've heard the stories of how her Fair Fight Action PAC took in $1.34 million and used it to pay off the medical debt of 68,000 Georgians, along with 40,000 others in Arizona, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Now that sounds like fucking bribery to me. But anyway, Fair Fight Action hasn't stopped crowing about it, even buying ads one time here on PJ Media, highlighting how Stacey Abrams cares about Georgians because she took contributed money and doled it out like candy while calling for expanded government health care here in the state she loathes but wants to run. Run. What's the difference? And it's no doubt if she runs for president, we'll never hear the end of how she took care of people in 5 states. It was such a crass political move, but it was totally cool in the eyes of the left. But let a Republican do something similar and Democrats go all Katie bar the door. Georgia Democrats are seeing red because a PAC supporting Georgia Bulldog football star and Heisman Trophy winner Herschel Walker in his Senate bid gave out $25 gas vouchers to consumers in South Atlanta last weekend. There were no strings to the vouchers, no push to register to vote, to endorse Walker, or to appear in a campaign commercial. The $25 was simply meant to help hardworking Georgians stretch their gas dollars a little farther. Now that's bribery in my guys too, but it's the PAC doing it, so apparently it's legal because Stacey Abrams did it. So Big Day in Atlanta giving out $4,000 in free gas. Ralph Warnock and Joe Biden have caused gas prices and inflation to skyrocket. It's time for a change in the U.S. Senate to help us lower costs for everyday Georgia's families. And that's why we need to elect Herschel Walker. Now, look, I'm going to be perfectly frank, and this is how I'm going to finish the show. There's a couple other articles I can't get to them. Let me be perfectly frank. I'm never going to say that Herschel Walker is necessarily the brightest bulb in the tree, but he's a good man. I think he has good intentions, and I don't know that he can hurt the country. Okay. He may be smarter than I know. I just don't know enough about him. I just know that, he was a football player and he did some, and he's a ally to Trump, and he's conservative. He's a family man. And so I would hope that combination is a good combination for America, and that he can beat Ralph Warnock, because I think that Ralph Warnock is, let me put it mildly, he's a fucking communist. So fuck Ralph Warnock. Vote for Herschel Walker if you live in Georgia. I don't care if he's Forrest freaking Gump. Vote for Herschel Walker. Okay? That's all I have to say about that. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta go. Thanks for being here. I'm sorry I didn't interact with the chat as much as I often do, but it's been one of those days. Thank you so much for joining me. Please, if you haven't done so, hit the like button. There's more likes than people here, so that's a good sign. Also, you can share this stream before, during, after the stream. Also, Project 10,000. We wanted 10,000 subscribers by my 1,000th episode, which is about 162 episodes away. That's the goal, 10,000 before the 1,000th episode. We'll do a 1,300 special on Friday. Tomorrow's just going to be a normal FTG Thursday. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Share the stream. Thanks for our sponsors today, starting with, who was that? With Gunfox 61, Tyre Alexander, and Selected Boy. And technically, Gunfox 61 is the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. But Tyre, it says that you are, so I'll have to reset that tomorrow. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful day. Time for me to go. My name is P Dog Knight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is P Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.